Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We're gonna get through this. That's the
opportunity while I was there of being the accountant for Floyd Mayweather for a number of years.
Oh, wow.
And just unbelievable experiences when I was working with him. I mean, stories that I can share, stories there. There'd be 4 or 5 very expensive sports cars out front of our building and 20 people coming in and sitting down and going through the various items that we needed to, but always very flashy, very, very out there. You know, but something that many people, it's public knowledge, not sharing anything that's not out there, but something many people don't realize is he suffered a lot through his life with depression. It's something that he's
Floyd was visibly emotional after news broke that authorities had moved to seize assets reportedly tied to nearly $600 million. Just days earlier, he had gone online boasting that he'd snapped up 62 buildings in Manhattan, presenting it as proof that he'd mastered the real estate game. What was meant to be a power move quickly unraveled. Investigators discovered those properties were never registered under his name. Once that claim fell apart, federal agents widened their focus, reviewing his past deals and financial trail. That deeper probe led to additional freezes on properties and accounts believed to be linked to him, turning a flashy flex into a full-blown financial crisis.
To making sure that the homeless situation is cleaned up. This is one of the ways that they're doing it, and it looks like there could be possibly lots of different ways to scam the system.
And Floyd Mayweather is a provocative and controversial figure, but I think this article may make people think about him different.
At the moment, the assets said to total more than $600 million are completely frozen. No sales, no transfers, no access of any kind until investigators determine whether Floyd actually has legal ownership. Ironically, the entire situation was set in motion by Floyd himself. He chose to put the alleged deal on display, uploading several clips where he toured the properties and announced a massive Manhattan acquisition. His delivery was bold and self-assured, almost celebratory, clearly designed to showcase status and success. But the response didn't take long. Public reaction exploded almost immediately, and that attention helped push the story from social media bragging into a serious legal spotlight.
My lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings,
Fans packed the comment sections, headlines started popping up across major outlets, and the size of the claim pulled eyes from well outside the boxing community. But as officials started digging into public ownership records, the narrative quickly fell apart. The reality was undeniable. Not a single one of those buildings was legally listed under Mayweather's name.
Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan.
That revelation did more than damage his reputation. It set off a domino effect. Federal authorities, who were already familiar with his long history of bold financial statements, saw this as a reason to widen the scope. They revisited past transactions, reviewed older filings, and began placing holds on additional assets connected to him. For now, everything remains locked down until full financial review is finished. What raises the stakes even higher is Floyd's own admission in previous interviews that property investments have replaced boxing as his primary income stream. With those accounts frozen, that revenue pipeline effectively shuts off, at least for the time being. And considering the cost of maintaining his lavish lifestyle, that kind of interruption carries serious consequences.
In 36 months, of course, with one of my new investments, I would be making $300 million a month. But
what investment is that?
Just in real estate.
I agree. I got you.
And I'm heavy in real estate. I'm real heavy in real estate. Even though, you know, I got my own liquid, and that means cash. For those, I break it down in layman's terms. Even though,
as if the situation wasn't already intense, the financial chaos arrived at the worst possible moment. Floyd was in the middle of lining up what could have been his boldest business play to date, a massive $700 million attempt to buy into the NFL's New York Giants. He wasn't acting solo either. Teaming up with real estate heavyweight Mir Orbach, they plan to front a group aiming to secure a 10% ownership stake in the franchise. Valued north of $7.5 billion, the Giants stand as one of the most historic names in professional football. The move would have sent shockwaves through the sports world. To show he was fully locked in, Floyd even placed $200 million into escrow, a clear signal that he was serious about closing the deal.
It's understood. He just want to be treated fair.
Right.
And this is for any team that's watching right now. We'll make them a deal. If they sign AB and AB go through the whole season, no problems at all. And then they got to give us 20 million. But if he mess up, then we got to give them 20 million. So if any team want to match that, reach out to us.
That entire strategy now hangs by a thread. With Floyd's finances under intense scrutiny, uncertainty has spilled over to his inner circle as well. His business partner, Mir Orbach, has gone noticeably quiet, offering little clarity as questions continue to swirl. When pressed by reporters, Orbach released a carefully worded statement, saying only that he and his associates routinely evaluate a range of investment possibilities, including professional sports teams, before shutting down further discussion. On its own, that kind of answer wouldn't seem unusual. But given the timing, many are interpreting the silence as a red flag, suggesting that the numbers and promises behind the scenes may not align as neatly as once claimed.
Turns like over his lifetime, he's going to make $300 million off the deal. It just doesn't make sense, especially with the amount of power players in NYC who would have already bought those 62 units if it was so lucrative. The white guy would have easily bought those 62 units up. And this is where I think the bigger understanding comes in. Because if you don't know, the true owner is Black Spruce Management. Mayweather at most holds a minority ownership stake and likely through a financial vehicle with
That quiet has only fueled even more doubt. People are now asking why Orbach hasn't clearly stated whether Floyd is still involved in the bid, and why there's such reluctance to address the specifics if the deal is solid. At this point, clear answers are nowhere to be found. And with each passing day without clarification, the uncertainty grows heavier, making the entire situation feel increasingly unstable.
If you know how much money you got, you really don't have no money. So if you know how many buildings you got, you don't really have no buildings. So I think I own right now somewhere upwards of 100 buildings or more. And in 99% of my buildings are
pouring even more gasoline on the situation. Eddie Hearn had already raised eyebrows about Floyd's finances months earlier. In an interview at the time, Hearn questioned whether Floyd's wealth truly matched his public image. He made it clear he wasn't calling him broke, but pointed out that the non-stop spending and frequent exhibition fights didn't quite add up. Those comments sparked buzz when they first surfaced. Floyd brushed them off, laughing when the clip was brought to his attention, and dismissing Hearn as someone who always has a sharp remark ready. But with everything unfolding now, those once dismissed comments are starting to sound far less like trash talk and far more like a warning that may have been overlooked.
Carry on and they do the exhibitions and all that kind of stuff. It just sort of diminishes the legacy a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's what I feel like's happened with Mayweather.
Why do you think he does those things though? Do you think
for money?
I
don't think he's got the money he says. That's what I think.
I think he still needs the money.
I don't
after
think
all
he
these
needs
years.
the money. But you know when you got that lifestyle, right? So when you're spending what he's spending.
Others in the industry have also started weighing in, amplifying the growing concerns. Boxing analyst Rick Glazer pointed out that while it's hard to imagine Mayweather actually struggling financially, the chatter is coming from sources with credibility. He warned that this isn't just a simple mix-up or a minor PR blunder. It's a deeper problem that has the potential to spiral further. Just when it seemed the situation couldn't get any more chaotic, Floyd dropped a new video online. This time, he was promoting a Thailand-based cryptocurrency called a SIEZED. In the clip, he urged fans to invest, dangling a series of incentives, a live Zoom call with himself and the project's founder, a $100 cashback reward for investing at least $20, even a chance to snag one of his WBC championship belts. And the most eye-catching prize? A private, one-on-one training session with Floyd himself for a lucky winner.
I mean, it's the new wave. It's what everybody's doing. And I started, of course I started with boxing, but then of course now it's real estate. My real estate portfolio is crazy, but I'm truly blessed. I'm truly blessed. And if cryptocurrency is the new wave,
An offer like that from someone who rarely gives anything away immediately raised questions. Why would Mayweather attach himself so heavily to a little-known cryptocurrency? And why layer on so many rewards, some tied to substantial amounts of cash? To many observers, it came across as a scramble to pull in quick money. Given the timing, those concerns don't seem exaggerated. Stepping back, the bigger picture becomes clear. This isn't about a single misleading Instagram post. It's a chain of risky choices, financial warning signs, and a lack of transparency. On the surface, Floyd still flashes his signature grin, dons lavish outfits, and speaks as if his wealth is limitless. But behind the curtain, the foundation is looking far less stable than it appears.
It doesn't even hurt his record.
Because of the drug of boxing. Just
also
like
money.
Just like but I don't even think he don't need any money.
He spends so much money.
Yeah, but he don't need any. Floyd,
are you sure?
Yeah, Floyd good.
I bet if he's planning for the future, you got to keep it coming in if you're going to keep spending the way he spends.
Yeah, but I think he has a lot of other business interests that he can get money from.
Hopefully.
And not.
There's a very real risk that even more of Floyd's assets could be frozen, pending deals could collapse, and previous claims about his wealth might be questioned or outright disproven. The warning signs aren't just on paper. Not long ago, staff at Mayweather Boxing and Fitness in Los Angeles staged a dramatic protest after going weeks without pay. They didn't just leave quietly. They took to the front of the gym with signs and microphones, making their frustrations impossible to ignore. One sign bluntly declared, "The money team has no money." Another read, "Hard work, dedication," and then what? Some even went further, branding their treatment as labor trafficking and modern-day slavery. These weren't exaggerations for effect. They were the words of employees who felt they had finally hit their breaking point.
No, this is for real. Hey. No pay!
Where's Money Mayweather? Hard work?
Dedication!
No pay!
Money Mayweather where?
I don't see you.
I don't see you.
Rent won't wait.
I got bills to pay.
Rent won't.
According to the Daily Mail, several employees reported going weeks without pay, spanning trainers, front desk staff, and even management. There were no back wages, and attempts to get answers from the company went unanswered. Some staff admitted they were worried about facing retaliation for speaking out, but felt compelled to take the risk after being ignored for so long. One outspoken employee summed it up, "Even if you work somewhere else and aren't paid, you hesitate to speak up because you know companies can silence you or even fire you at will." For those workers, Mayweather's gym became a stark example of that reality, only this time it carried Floyd's famous name.
Getting paid late, it has completely affected my life. It has affected my mental health.
Another staff member spoke out, saying, "We're out here making it clear that we've been treated unfairly." The employees said they had tried repeatedly to address the issues internally, only to be brushed off or ignored at every turn. Some even revealed that management instructed them not to mention these problems to Floyd if he came by. One employee recalled, "He was here 2 weeks ago. We've been silenced. I was told we can't tell him anything. I can't even tell him that our studio is shutting down. Does he even know? We have no idea." For those working there, the gym's brand, despite carrying Floyd's name, felt like just another corporate entity operating without accountability.
And just given the name, but the more and more that I've been here since the beginning of 2024, just seeing the treatment of the staff has just really broken my heart. And also too, for all of the staff, I've offered discounted adjustments to $20. And having staff members tell me they can't afford to pay $20 for an adjustment because they're not getting paid just really took me back to say, wow, what's going on here? Still coming in every Monday, still adjusting the staff to make sure that they felt okay, they felt regulated, that their systems didn't feel so stressed out.
Insider reports now suggest that the Mayweather Boxing and Fitness location in Los Angeles could be facing a complete shutdown. This isn't just a short-term protest. Employees are already acting as if the end is near. Equipment sits untouched, classes are being canceled, and members are being advised not to renew their memberships until further notice. Samria Baldwin, a general manager at the gym, opened up about her experience and the rapid decline she witnessed. I joined in September 2023, and on my very first day, it was clear the team wasn't properly employed. From that moment, I worried, but I thought I could help turn things around. Instead, I was fed lies from the start, she said. We've lost everything. Not getting paid or getting paid late has completely impacted my life. This situation has ruined me.
It's a lot, and being who I am a protector, and I protect my team, and I've tried to protect their employment, and unfortunately now, there's nothing for me to lose. We have lost everything. I've lost so much in this, not getting paid late. It has completely affected my life.
Another coach at the gym shared how the pressure extended far beyond delayed paychecks. Honestly, it's been really disheartening, they said. We haven't been compensated fairly, and it takes a toll on your mental health. My wife even had to go to the hospital because of the stress and anxiety this job caused. There are so many layers to it that weigh on you, and it's heartbreaking to go through all of this while working for such a big-name company. The reality is, we're not even getting paid.
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm Frank. I was a coach here at Mayweather Boxing Fitness Hollywood, and honestly, it's been disheartening to go through everything we've been going through. We haven't been getting paid fairly. It messes with your mental health. We had to rely on a member that worked at Chick-fil-A that granted us some free Chick-fil-A cards, so we're all eating unhealthy meals to the point where we can't even go home and get some fresh fruit. We're not able to literally pay for our bills. The debt, it accumulated to the point where it messed with the mental health.
So far, Floyd Mayweather hasn't addressed the employee walkout, the unpaid wages, or the looming possibility that the gym could close. But his silence is becoming more conspicuous by the day, especially considering that just weeks ago, he was flaunting on social media ownership of over $1 billion in real estate and sharing videos of lavish purchases. For staff struggling to cover their own bills, the contrast isn't just frustrating, it feels almost like a personal slight. Questions are now mounting about how Mayweather's business operations are actually managed. Several insiders have hinted at confusion over who is responsible for payroll. Some suggest it's a franchise-level issue, not directly Floyd's fault. Others argue that if his name is on the building, the accountability falls squarely on him. Meanwhile, the criticism isn't just coming from employees. Observers outside the gym are starting to weigh in as well.
Warren Buffett, that's in his 80s or 90s, that can still make a ton of money. The Waltons that own Walmart. Bill Gates can still make computers. But soon as someone black, when my career is over as far as me in a combat sport, as far as boxing, whatever, if I'm promoting on social media or I'm doing exhibitions, it's like, oh man, he's broke. No, it's not a crime for them to make money. They don't say anything about the guys that's...
Amir Khan shared his thoughts on the situation in a recent interview, and he didn't mince words. It's sad, but karma is a bee, he said. Look at how arrogant he's been flaunting money. You can't just throw cash around when there's so much poverty in the world. And if he's tossing money at strip clubs, Khan's perspective reflects a sentiment long whispered in the boxing community. Floyd Mayweather has built a public image rooted in excess. His nickname, Money, was never just for show. He truly lived it. The Mayweather lifestyle has always pushed boundaries. Private jets, diamond-studded watches, duffel bags stuffed with cash, and bills raining down on nightclub floors.
The company is IBM Co. Crazy company. Now, I need you guys to come closer and check this out. So let me come give you guys a breakdown. Well, in the industry, you see a lot of people with this kind of watch, this kind of watch, and this kind of watch.
So when protesters hold signs accusing him of modern-day slavery right outside his own gym, the impact hits even harder. Some may argue that Floyd isn't personally running the LA location, but the fallout inevitably falls on him. His brand carries his name, and when workers go unpaid under the Mayweather banner, the story spreads fast, especially after he himself has touted that his wealth comes from savvy investments and property ownership. The issue stretches far beyond a single gym. If one location is in chaos, could others be facing similar problems? Franchise chains are particularly vulnerable to lawsuits when standard operations fail. If more employees come forward, or if investigative reports surface from other states, this could escalate well beyond a localized controversy into a major scandal.
Fucking jet. Look at my house. Look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed. Like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but I want to show you when I show up, I bring out.
Meanwhile, gym members are left in uncertainty. Those who paid up front for annual memberships are now calling for refunds, while others have no idea if their upcoming training sessions will even take place. There's been no official word from management, no emails, no statements. Just complete silence. The situation could escalate even further if class action lawsuits emerge. Some employees are already consulting labor attorneys, trying to determine whether Floyd himself could be held responsible or if it falls solely on the franchise company. Depending on who legally owns the LLC behind the LA location, the legal landscape could get messy very quickly.
Check this out. Carbon fiber. Come check it out, y'all.
It's also important to see how closely this ties to the earlier controversies around Floyd's investment claims. With the FBI now scrutinizing his finances and assets already under review, the pressure is mounting. When an empire starts showing cracks, every flaw becomes magnified, and employees protesting unpaid wages outside the gym isn't just a small crack, it's a full-blown breach. Another layer of concern is how investors and business partners will perceive the Mayweather brand moving forward. The gym chain has multiple locations across the U.S., all operating under a name that has long symbolized wealth, power, and dependability. If the Los Angeles branch collapses and the story spreads, it could stall franchise sales, prompt partners to back out, and halt expansion plans entirely. Promoting growth is nearly impossible when your flagship location is unraveling in full view of the public.
The money man is back. I'm here in New York City with the one and only Benny the Jeweler. Benny, tell the people what you sold me today.
Alright, see what's going on. We got the Eye of the Tiger factory on a full pave bracelet.
And tell the people about this, please.
We got the white.
What happens next could hinge entirely on Floyd's response. If he steps up, addresses the employees, settles unpaid wages, and takes responsibility for his actions and misleading claims, there's a chance to regain control of the narrative. But if he remains silent, this story could spiral straight into courtrooms and dominate headlines. So far, there's been nothing. No statement, no video, no confirmation about payroll, and no apology. Just an escalating crisis. All signs point to one conclusion. Floyd's financial situation is under serious strain, and it may get even worse in the days ahead. What's your take? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for the latest updates.